So I have some thoughts on Ukraine. It is a proxy war. It is a cash dump for criminals to be able to wash their money and reinvest it in other places, especially criminals in the government, i.e., the Senate and the Congress, maybe even the president, ex president, their kids. So that is a very important thing to look at. It's also important to look at, like, if you go to the leftist side, Russia is the aggressor and we're the police force of America, and it's up to us to help these guys out as long as they're not brown. And, that's why, okay, that's fine too. But I don't think anybody's actually looking at the important part about what's going on in Ukraine. I don't think anybody is listening to what the citizen soldiers are saying in Ukraine and what they're doing means to them. Our part is a very small part. Granted, we shouldn't be sending them money and shit like that. Maybe send them vehicles, rebuild our own vehicles that are newer, send them the old ones. I mean, we did that for the Taliban. The very least we could do is do that for Ukraine. Give them our older vehicles so we can have the fucking money to build new ones for our own troops. But that's besides the point, because my point is we're missing the reality of what's going on in Ukraine. It's a sovereign nation fighting for its sovereignty against a higher, bigger military power. Does this sound familiar? And they're able to stall that bigger power. Now, granted, Russia's military might is like, yeah, they got a lot of people. They also got a lot of people. Like, they couldn't enlist their people because they're a lot. They'd end up with a lot of people that ran away because the Russian people don't agree. Most of the Russian people don't agree with what's going on. They just can't say anything or they'll get arrested. But you can't enlist them because they're not going to show up and fight. So, and then you got a Chinese ally. They might show up and fight, but if they go all the way over there to the fucking west, it's nothing to protect them to the east, where America is kind of getting pissed off at them, and so is Taiwan. The true seat of China is Taiwan. They were chased out by the Russians and the communists, and that's where they went. That is the true seat of China, but of unified China anyway. But nobody's like listening to what these Ukrainian, like, they are teaching Americans what it means to be patriotic, because these are citizen soldiers. These are people that were like teachers and daycare providers that as soon as Russia infiltrated their sovereign country, they dropped what they were doing, picked up guns, put on khakis, and went to the front line. And America is missing that lesson because I don't think anybody in America, I don't, unless you're already in the military or you're a vet or unless you're over the age of 30, I don't think anybody under the 29 and under is willing to do that for their country. If we were to get invaded, they would run and hope that the quote unquote hillbillies in the Midwest and the South show up with guns to protect them, especially here in California. Goddamn fucking reprobates. I live in fucking California. The only thing good about California is that it's not Washington or Oregon. That's it. That's all it's got going for it. All of the criminals have guns, but the fucking law abiding citizens don't. Think about that. Here in Sacramento, they made cruising legal again. And the moment they made cruising legal, people started doing sideshows instead of cruising because cruising is a thing from like the 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, early 90s with lowriders where you couldn't drive them too fast, but they also attracted gangs, so people would shoot at each other. So they made cruising legal. And then Sacramento, just last year in 2022, goes, you know what? We're making cruising legal again because it's part of the Mexican culture, which blows my mind because Mexicans didn't invent cars. They didn't invent fucking lowrider. Like, there were greasers way before there were Mexican lowriders. Like, okay, it's Mexican culture, whatever. They're making it legal again. The moment they made it legal, sideshows just started popping up because kids were showing up because kids don't care about lowriders anymore. That's not a thing. That's for car clubs. And if you have a car club and you want to go cruising, you could easily get a parade fucking permit and do it all fucking day. But no, they needed to make cruising legal again. No, they didn't. You just needed to get a parade permit if you're a car club, and people would have been like, that's cool as fuck. All right, have fun. But because you made fucking, I fucking hate California. People will hold Cesar Chavez up as like some sort of like figure, like Martin Luther King or or Malcolm X or whatever. Like he fought for he hated illegal immigrants because he was a union boss. Everybody forgets that. He was a fucking union boss. If you're not a legal citizen, you can't join the union, meaning you can't pay union dues. He hated illegal immigrants because they were taking jobs away from his union people. But oh no, he was a great man. Great man. Fucking did everything he could for immigrants. No, he didn't. He hated he hated illegal immigrants. Immigrants, yes, he liked. If you came here legally, yeah, he could put you to work. I don't know. There's no patriotism in America. There hasn't been patriotism in America until about 2005, 2006, after the basic, well, after the afterglow of 9/11. Once that kind of wore out, and then I saw no, there was patriotism in what 2010 when Obama killed Bin Laden. There was a lot of patriotism that day too, but that only lasted like a week. Yeah, there's no way in hell people in America are digging themselves into trenches, and there's no way a bitch with fucking 4-inch nails and got 7 kids is going to go and put on fucking khaki, cut her nails or take her fake nails off, whatever, if they're real or fake, who knows. Most of the time I'm guessing they're fake. If they were real, that's fucking disgusting. But and fucking get in a trench with a fucking a M16 and hold off the enemy. There's no way in hell that bitch is doing that. She's just like, I hope whoever wins pays for my kid. That's it. That's what you're gonna get. Ghetto ass fucking people. And don't be like, oh, did you just make fun of black women? No, I made fun of every ghetto ass woman because tell me you haven't heard a Latino woman or a white woman talk exactly like that as well. If you could tell me that, then fucking man, you get a pass. You could call me shit. But you can't tell me that, so shut the fuck up. Because anybody that's ever watched Cops has seen Asian, black, white, red, yellow, brown, purple, green women talking like that. So I guess that's a good place to stop this. Well, no, I just want to say the Ukrainians are teaching us about patriotism. and nobody's paying attention to it. And if anything is good out of this proxy war, that's the one good thing. And nobody is attaching themselves to the one good thing.